So today, in the wake of these latest attacks, I'm unveiling a 5-point plan to rid our subways of people who commit crimes and to protect all New Yorkers, whether you're a commuter or a transit worker. Point 1, I'm redeploying nearly 1,000 members of the New York State Police, MTA Police, and MTA National Guard to conduct bag checks in the city's busiest transit stations. About the resources that we can bring to this situation. So we'll be having 750 members of the New York National Guard, as well as another 250 personnel from state and MTA police. You'll start seeing them at the tables, making sure that weapons are not being brought in, working in concert with our New York State Police, as well as our NYPD. Because no one heading to their job or to visit family or to go to a doctor appointment should worry that the person sitting next to them possesses a deadly weapon. They shouldn't worry about whether someone's going to brandish a knife or gun. That's what we're going to do at these checkpoints. Number 2, I'm proposing that we amend New York State laws in this session, in a matter of weeks, to allow courts to ban anyone from riding the subway or taking a bus who's convicted of a violent crime against another passenger. So basically, if you assault someone on the subways, you won't be on the subways. And a judge will now have the power to make sure that for at least 3 years, they'll have the ability to keep you off the subways. Now, this isn't some radical idea. Think about if you're convicted of a DWI. The judge determines that you're a danger. Guess what? You're not riding on our roads. You're not able to drive a vehicle. You lose your license. It's the same principle right here. And I expect the judges to use that discretion.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Rakok Radash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who are the house of David, reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the video we just watched and how this is going to bring forward the martial law, also referred to as Jacob's trouble in the Bible. But let's go and read this first. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. And a man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So, what we just watched is the setting up of the silent martial law. If you've been paying attention over the last couple of decades, you've been seeing the slow but steadily militarization of the police forces in the United States. And why is that? Well, because those powers that be that are in control are planning to bring some very nasty events upon the people here in America, namely upon you Israelites, you Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. And what do I mean by that? Well, you see, just like it tells you here that there's going to be sedition amongst men, the word sedition basically means rising up against the government. And just today, if you go on the news, you'll see, and when I say news, I mean like Twitter and social media. Mainstream media has been co-opted and it's total propaganda now, and it's a tool of these Edomites to basically brainwash the masses. So again, if you go on to the real news locations, that being X or Instagram or TikTok, you're going to find details about what happened today in Mexico. Basically, you have a uprising of the people, and they stormed the presidential palace today. And in Haiti, this has been going on. This gang leader may be the most powerful person in Haiti right now. Jimmy Cherizier is leading a violent attempt to oust Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who remains out of the country. If Ariel Henry doesn't step down, if the international community continues to support Ariel Henry, they will lead us directly into a civil war that will end in genocide. Henry arrived in Puerto Rico after days of uncertainty about his location. His plane was turned away by Haiti's neighbor, the Dominican Republic. Henry has been in Kenya to sign the UN security deal to bring troops to Haiti. While Henry was away, gangs staged a series of attacks on key sites, including the country's main airport, and two prisoners leading the escape of over 4,000 inmates. We must unite. Either Haiti becomes a paradise or a hell for us all. It is out of the question for a small group of rich people living in big hotels to decide the fate of people living in working class neighborhoods. Henry has been running Haiti's government since the assassination of former President Jovenel Moïse in 2021. Henry had pledged to step down in February, but said the security must be reestablished before holding new elections. An ensuring power vacuum has seen Haitian gangs seize control of 80% of Port-au-Prince in a wave of escalating violence. Now it's the gangs that control the country. They can't become president because this situation is not good at all. These men had already warned us that they were going to start fires. They made good on all their threats. They said they were going to invade and destroy the penitentiary, and they did. They said they were going to burn down the police station, and they did. So they're showing us that the police don't matter. Cherizier says attacks will continue until Prime Minister Henry steps down from office. So, as you've seen there, first of all, let me just clear up some things on that last part. That supposed gang leader, he's really an ex-cop, okay? And he was pushed out because of the corrupt forces that went in and took over Haiti. The president there was assassinated because he wasn't pushing the snake bite, and that's why they ultimately basically got rid of him. And the person in there now is basically a globalist doing the will of Esau. So all those supposed prisoners or gang members, a lot of them are opposition to these globalists, okay? Some of them are straight up gangsters, you know, but the thing is that those people would be better referred to as freedom fighters, okay? You got to remember, Haiti was famous for rebelling against the French and freeing themselves, okay? So they have that spirit. And again, when you remember who these Haitians are, they are the tribe of Levi, okay? These are the priests that the Most High set up, okay? This is why they're all into voodoo, or a large portion of them are into voodoo, I should say, okay? And they have a strong spirit about them, okay? Because these were the people who naturally led the rest of the tribes. So all this is going on, Akim, Because why? Well, because right now Esau is making big moves. Okay, and why is he making big moves? Well, because of this. This is Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. This is why Esau is moving so quick. This is why they assassinated that president. This is why they're saying that in Mexico that this is a color revolution, right? And if you're unsure what that means, that basically means that it's a setup, right? That these people are protesting because they've basically it's been orchestrated by outside forces, namely these globalists. And why is that? Well, because you see, the president of Mexico is not basically doing what America wants. He's restricted the access to the Mexican lithium mines to the US. He's also recently come out saying he wants to join the BRICS nation, and that can open up Russia or China placing weapons, missiles on the US border, just like America has done to Russia, right, with Ukraine. So you see, Esau is taking action. Okay, he's not only is he trying to put down like any opposition, which is what you're seeing in Mexico, but also he's moving fast to try to take down any world leaders that are not going with his agenda. Hence the assassination of the Haiti president, and ultimately what we've seen in the first video with that unelected mayor of New York, that Hochul lady, right? Remember, she got that place because the last mayor got ousted because of the corruption. Okay, and like I said, what they're gonna start doing is they're gonna start bringing in these events that are gonna then be the catalyst and the justification for bringing in the National Guard, the state police, and eventually the military forces. And why is that? Well, because when shit hits the fan, these forces will be in place. Okay, and we've seen this happen back on 9/11 when they changed the way people fly. Right now we have the TSA there checking bags, basically being security theater. This is all part of Esau's plan. This is Jeremiah 30 and 5. For thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. What's coming is not going to be nice. Like I made a lesson, I think last week, talking about it's only going to get worse from here on out, and that's true. And that's because Esau is making his move. This is it, Akim. We are there. Verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. And right here, the words I highlighted, Jacob's trouble, basically means the trouble for the Israelites, right? Jacob is just another way of saying Israelites, okay, or the descendants of Jacob. That would be us Negro, Latino, Native Americans. And you see, not only is this whole force of Esau going to come down on us, but it's going to come down on everybody. And because every other nation is just going to get caught up in this, right? And I'm talking about the Egyptians, the Armenians, the true Africans, even the white people, right? The other Edomites, they're going to get caught up in this. And why is that? Well, that's because Esau is going to not spare any, right? But his main target is going to be us Israelites, okay? This is why when Trump comes in, and Trump's going to win, okay? He's going to win, like the apostles have said, because when you look at what happened during the Weimar Republic, back when they brought Hitler in, right? Hitler was the saving grace for Germany. And why is that? Well, because Amalek destroyed Germany. Okay, they brought in all this debaucherous behavior, destroyed the economy, and they did exactly the same thing that they're doing here in America. The pedophilia, the transsexual movement, the LGBT movement, the DEI, and all this other crap. They did the exact same thing over in Germany, in the Weimar Republic. And to the point where when they presented Hitler as a solution, the Germans fell for it hook, line, and sinker. They couldn't get him in fast enough. And that allowed him to then get the power that he needed to do the awful things he did. Right? And that's exactly what's going to happen with Trump. Remember, when Trump was in power, he said that he was going to set up a tracking system, that it was going to be in the land, the sea, and the air. And that was going to be a good tracking system to track all those illegal aliens that had crossed the border before he shut it down with Executive Order 42. Okay? And now that he's going to come back, and there's now even a bigger rush of aliens that have, or illegal aliens that have come in.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
Trump's going to have even more power and reason to push forward all these draconian laws. So, like, what does the scripture say? Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So though they're trying to make Trump the darling, remember, man, he's still in Amalek's pocket, and he's still an Edomite. He is your sworn enemy, you Negro, Latino, Native Americans, because he is an Edomite, and we are the Israelites. We are natural born enemies, okay? He is from the seed of the serpent, and we are from the seed of the woman, that being Israel, okay? Basically good versus evil. And these devils, they're going to do all these tricks. So by the time when Trump's in, trust me, they're going to make everybody hate the Negro, Latino, Native Americans. We're going to be the bad guys. And it's going to be us that are going to be thrown into these concentration camps. And it's going to be us that they vilify, okay? We're going to be the ones that have caused all these problems. Why do you think they've allowed all these shoplifting and violent acts to be permitted by people, and then they get released, right? And it's always your stupid ass Jakes, be it Negro, Latino, Native Americans that they highlight, okay? Is because they are setting the Israelites up to be blamed, just like they set them up when they blamed them in Rome for the fires that they started under Nero, right? They're going to do the exact same thing here in the new Rome, okay? This is Romans 13 and 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So this is it, Akim. We got to start getting right with the Lord, coming back, repenting. I know a lot of you Akim and Akwathium out there are doing just that. But if you happen to stumble upon this video, or you haven't really committed to this truth, what are you waiting for? This is the time, okay? If you've been watching these videos, you've been brought in for a reason by the Lord. And it isn't to dilly-dally, it's to fucking get right and repent. So either way, hopefully this video was edifying. Until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh B'Hashem El Shai B'Hashem Rakak Wadash. Shalom.